What have you seen over the last 12 years with these minerals, and why would they be so important and beneficial when we create an EMF-free or EMF stress-free environment? Why are this super concentrated mineral water? Why is it so beneficial?
I didn't discover these minerals until I was 65 years old, and I was severely crippled with arthritis throughout my whole body. When I discovered these minerals, I was an international executive. I was in charge of computers around the world as a vice president, 21 years. And I had no experience with really health type things. And I allowed my body to deteriorate down to where I was severely crippled. I couldn't even hold a pen or pencil anymore at 65. I couldn't raise my arms even above my shoulders. And in order for me to get out of bed, I used to have to push myself over onto my side and then push myself to a sitting position on the edge of the bed, and then push myself up to a standing position, kind of bent over until I could get my balance. And then I could take some small steps. But when I walked like a crippled old man, because at 65, I was a crippled old man. I was on pain prescription meds. They helped some, but not entirely. So I was in pretty bad shape. But what happened with me, how I happened to come about my knowledge about these minerals was I had, as an executive, subscribed to some financial newsletters, and one day I was reading one on the computer, and up popped this ad on the right-hand column that said, if you would like to learn how to purify the most polluted water in the world, sign up for this water webinar. Well, that kind of piqued my interest, because back in 1976, my wife and I took our 3 sons camping out in Colorado in the Rocky Mountains and up above the snow line and the tree line. And it was on July 4th of 1976, the 200th birthday of our nation, that we were up there, and the snow was melting and formed these little rivulets. And my 3 sons said, Dad, that water looks so crystal clear, so good and cold. We're thirsty. Is it okay if we drink from that? And I looked around and made a terrible decision. I said, well, it looks okay. And so they did, but that ruined our vacation for the next 3 days. So I learned my lesson, they learned their lesson, and it was for that reason that when this ad popped up, when I was reading the financial newsletter saying, if you'd like to learn how to purify your water, well, I have a 28-acre estate here in Michigan, and the North Branch of the Kalamazoo River runs right through my property. And I thought, well, there might come a day when I need to know how to purify that water, because I sure learned my lesson back in 1976. So I signed up for that water webinar. And on that water webinar, I saw this man pouring this liquid into a pond that was filthy, filthy polluted. You couldn't even see 2 inches below the surface of the water. And when he poured this liquid in this pond, and there was some time-lapse photography of the pond, but eventually the pond started clearing up. You could see it starting to have swirls in it, and after a while, you could see all the way to the bottom, 15, 20 feet down. You could see the turtles swimming and everything. But then this is the part that got me. He took a clear glass mug and he dipped it in that pond water, held it up in front of the camera, and then he proceeded to drink it. And I thought, oh my land, does he even know what he's doing? So during that webinar, I heard people saying that people with arthritis that drank this mineral water were reporting terrific benefits. Now, I didn't sign up for that webinar to learn anything about my health issues, but that certainly changed my idea of what I was getting from that webinar. And at the end, they offered a chance to order some of these minerals. So I thought, well, I'll try it for myself. So I ordered them. And when they came, I actually hid them in the back of my desk drawer, because my wife is a RN. She works with the allopathic surgeons at the hospital. And I didn't want her making fun of me for falling for some scam on the internet. And so I hid them, and I started adding them to my water, my drinking water, in secret. I became a closet drinker of these minerals in my water. On my 3rd day, my hands complete flexibility back. Before, I couldn't even touch my thumb to my pinky. And I was in pain, terrific pain all day long. My 3rd day, all the pain was gone. Flexibility completely returned on my 3rd day. On my 4th day, where I couldn't even raise my arms even shoulder high, I could now raise them above my head I could now wash my back with a washcloth. On my 4th day, I hadn't been able to do that in years. And on the 5th morning, when I opened my eyes in bed, after taking the minerals now for 4 days, I realized I don't have a single pain anywhere in my body. And instead of doing the 3 pushes to get out of bed, I simply leaped out of bed. I started jumping up and down all over my bedroom and twisting my body every which way to see if there's any pain, and it was gone. On the 5th day, all my symptoms of my arthritis was completely gone. It's been gone over 12 years now. I'm going on my 13th year. And so, by then I had taken the minerals out of my bath, put them on my kitchen counter, started adding them to my drinking water in front of my wife. She said, "What is that? What are you doing?" I said, "Well, look what's happened to me." In 5 days, I had all this stuff that had improved health-wise for me. And she agreed.